If you want to attract something in your life, you need to understand how to use the law of attraction, because every successful person that's ever created anything amazing has used it. And so in this video, I'm going to break down the law of attraction in a simplified way so that you can attract what you want quicker and faster than you thought you ever could. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and let's dive right into the video. Number one, everything came from thought. Think about it. Everything in this world has come from thought. How did you get the iPhone, the cell phone, the computer, the Mac? How did you get that? The thing you're actually watching me on at this very moment, where did it come from? It came from thought. That's the only place it could come from, right? It came from an imagination that somebody had, an invisible thought form that then they made into a physical object. But it started in thought. So anything you want to hold in your hand, whether it's you want to hold hands with an awesome romantic relationship, or you want to hold some more money, or you want to hold your dream, the keys to your dream car, or you want to put your hand on the steering wheel, or you want the keys to your dream house, any of it that you want to hold in your hand, you're gonna have to first hold it in your mind. Think about it. There is nothing. What is this? This is a shirt. And who makes it? A designer. How does a designer come up with it? They close their eyes and they imagine new ideas, and then they take them from invisible thought form into physical objects. How did these camera lights get here? Ideas into thought forms. Everything in the world. A engineer, how do they build the Manhattan Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge? How do they build the home that you're in, the apartment that you're in, the condo that you're in, wherever you're living? How did it get there? Somebody imagined it. That's how it exists. There's no other way for it to exist. Everything in this world was once imagined. So everything that will be your future, your bank account in 12 months or 6 months, your career, your love life, your health, your weight, your fitness, where you live, your circle of influence, all of that in the future is determined by what you are imagining in this moment. So when you grasp that, there's no way you can debate that. That's just a simple reality. And so when you understand that, then it's like, okay, well, why don't I use the power of my thought to manifest what I want? It's just that most people, it's easier to focus on what's not working. So most people use that ability to focus on what they don't want. So instead of saying, wow, everything that's ever been created was once imagined, I'm gonna create something amazing. They say, yeah, my boss is an asshole though. I mean, do you realize how expensive it is for milk? I mean, it's $4. I mean, can you believe it? I mean, I just paid so much in taxes. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna make more money. It's easy for you to say. No. What do you want? What do you want? Where is your mind right now? Where is your mind right now? Is it focused on what you want? Right now, let's get the mind centrally focused on what we want. Let's use this video not just to listen, but let's use this video right now to focus on what we want. Focus on what we want right now. Number two, everything you feel came from thought. So the basic neuroscience is every time you have a thought, you create a chemical reaction in your brain. That chemical reaction sends an electrical signal through your nervous system that controls how you feel. In other words, every time you have a thought, whether it's real or not real, you have the thought, it sends a chemical signal in your brain that signals an electrical impulse. What is an electrical impulse? It's an emotional state that reverberates through your nervous system and controls how you feel. Have you ever before thought you were going to get fired from a job, you were getting cheated on, there was a robber in your house, something like that that ended up not even being true, but your hands were sweaty, you were having heart palpitations. You thought it was real, but it wasn't even actually happening, but you were convinced that it was happening, even though it didn't happen, but it actually wasn't even close to happening, and you were sure it was happening, and you experienced the reality as if it was happening, but it didn't happen. Did you know that's how most people live their whole lives? It's a boogeyman. Most people are afraid of the boogeyman that doesn't exist. But it doesn't matter whether it's real or what's not real, because reality is a reflection off of your consciousness. It's a projection of your own consciousness. Just like when you were a kid in like second grade and your teacher's teaching you how to read or something, and they have the projectors and then they put the laminate sheets up and then it reflects all the light onto the screen and then you see some big like sheet of paper out on the wall. It's a projector, right? Well, reality works the same way. Only instead of a laminate sheet that they put on this X-ray thing that shoots onto the wall, you have a current image that's projecting onto the screen of your consciousness to create this world. This world is just light and sound, different frequencies of light and sound. What is thought? It's different frequencies of that. And so the images you're holding are projecting. So if you want to feel happier, if you want to feel more confident, if you want to feel more free, it all begins in thought. And so we say, well, that's silly. Well, how do you think you feel about that thought? Seriously, how do you think you feel about the thought that, oh, that's silly, oh, it's easy for you to say? Are you happy with that thought? There's no way you could possibly be happy if that's your thought. Except that's how most people live their lives. And then they just go on and create the same crap they don't want over again, and then they say this is stupid. At every moment, you create how you feel. This isn't new age. It's just a reality of the simple fact. Have you ever thought there was a robbery, you were getting cheated on, da-da-da-da-da? What happened? You had a thought. Your brain responded to the thought because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. Whatever you put your attention on, your brain responds to, whether it's real or not. And so people say, well, how am I supposed to create more money? I don't even have any money. You see this, you see this, you see this. You've got to start focusing on prosperity so your brain stops creating more bad feelings around money or whatever it is that you want to attract. So right now in this moment, you and I have an awesome opportunity, and that's to go like this. Life is beautiful. It's been a little difficult lately. I've been a little stressed, but life's beautiful. I've got an amazing job, or I've got an amazing house to live in that's safe and warm. I have friends that love me. Life is good. Let me focus on what I want right now. I would like more prosperity. My mind lately hasn't been focusing on that. Let me focus on that now. I'm grateful that I have this carpet underneath me. I just bought new carpet. I'm doing hypothetical. I didn't actually buy new carpet. But when you start to move your mind like that, you feel better. And the law of attraction responds to how you feel. Because what is feeling? It's conscious awareness of the vibration that you're in. And the vibration you're in dictates what you attract into your life. That's why change your thoughts, change your life it's a simple truth of life. So what I invite you to do is take a moment right now where you're watching this and consciously out loud, if you can, and if you can't, say it very intently in your own mind. Say positive statements to yourself right now and then see how you feel, because how you feel is a direct reflection of thought. Number 3, every single thing has a vibrational frequency and like attracts like. We touched on this in the last, but if you look under a powerful enough microscope, or you can just Google it yourself, what you'll see is that every single thing is energy. Albert Einstein said that E equals mc squared, which was essentially telling us that matter and energy are so connected that they're essentially one and the same. Everything is energy. Your energy. And the thing that you want is energy, whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's a job, whether it's a certain level of a lifestyle. It's all energy. And when you can get on the same frequency of what you want, you can attract it into your life. And it all begins where? In your thought. But what happens is we have a subconscious mind that generally blocks what we want. And that's why it's so important to consciously take the time to say your affirmations and your statements over and over. And that's why I always talk about my free success hypnosis. You can download it down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. I've used it for 6 years. Over 100,000 people have used it. And it's designed to train your mind for success and abundance. It's down below. Use that and understand that everything is energy, and at every moment your job is to get yourself in a high frequency so that you can change your point of attraction. Number 4, almost all creation happens habitually and unconsciously. Right? We touched on that in the last one, but it's true. Psychologists say we have 65,000 thoughts in a day approximately, and 95% of them are subconscious, they're unconscious. Have you ever drove somewhere and not remember that you went there? Maybe because you've been there 1,000 times. Have you ever done something and then somebody said, why'd you do that? And you're like, I don't know why I did that. Do you put your left foot on as a sock first or your right? Do you put your left leg in or your right leg in first? When you put your pants on. This is all subconscious. Do you attract money? Do you repel it? What's your income level? What happens when you're around deep, intimate, romantic relationships? Whatever you do, your reactions to things are habitual and subconscious. And those habitual and subconscious things are what control our lives. And so that's why it is so important to brainwash yourself before the world does. Think about if you have anyone in your life that's giving you negative programming. They're saying you can't do this, this won't work. Or do you notice any thoughts you have? You've got to understand every single thought that you're having is creating your reality. And you might say, well, it's true. Well, it's true. I'm having such a tough time financially. I understand that. Accept it and don't focus on it anymore. Focus on prosperity. Focus on creating prosperity. Focus on the money you have made. Focus on the money you can make and the people you can serve. Quit dwelling on it. It's done. You can't carry it around with you anymore. And if you do, all you're doing is reaffirming an old reality. In fact, it's said by Wallace Wattles that to think what you want to think. So to think what you want to think, regardless of appearance, is truth. To think what you want, whatever I want to think, regardless of what reality says, that's truth. But most people look at reality to determine their thoughts. So they're creating their life out of reaction to the past. They're creating their life out of reaction to what was. So then they recreate the same problems and then they say nothing's changing. Everything is changing. It's just that you created the same thing because you're giving your authority and your power to the things you're seeing with your physical senses. Your physical senses are merely a representation of the way that you've thought up until this moment. That's all it is. Literally, it's nothing else. All your bank account is, your GPA is, your love life, your weight, whatever it is, it's your life up until this moment. But right now, in this very second, you have the free will to think whatever you want to think. So to think what you want to think, regardless of the appearances, regardless of where you're at, to start to imagine and make your inner world more real than your outer world. That's how you create what you want. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. Thank you for watching. Comment down below your favorite part. Hashtag below best life ever. If you watch this video all the way through, you truly care and desire to create your best life ever. Not to mention, I'm eternally grateful for you watching this video through, but seriously, you want to create your best life or you wouldn't just be sitting here watching this video all the way through, and I want to honor you for that. Thank you for being that type of person, for showing up big in the world and saying, hey, I want to create my best life ever. So hashtag best life ever down below. Have a beautiful day. Make sure that you download my free success hypnosis down below, jakeshypnosis.com. Hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, because that's what notifies you for a new video. I'll see you on the next video. Hashtag best life ever.